It's 5:30 a.m. Monday morning. See a lot of snow around. We're heading to the gym right now. Okay. Just put the phone here. See how that looks. It's poll day, by the way. Going off what I was saying yesterday, someone did come in, so that's why I stopped the video. But I was saying you should find people who inspire you. So for me, it was, like David Goggins, Kevin Legroni, Ronnie Coleman, Alex Hermosi, Jim Rohn, and recently I was looking at Tony Robbins. So you should explore and find people who inspire you and listen to them every day. That was what I did back then. I pretty much listened to David Goggins every day, and I guess I still do it nowadays, but maybe I think when you listen to someone long enough, it becomes a mindset, So yeah, it's very important who you're around. So the people in your environment, and that also includes like those people who I listen to. They're mostly like motivational videos, but yeah. Me personally, I think it's better to have no friends than friends who are toxic. That's what I think. So. to come earlier. I just want to have the gym to myself so I can talk freely. I was really thinking about skipping today, but we coming in anyways. No excuses. No excuses. I need to wear my straps. My goal is to do a muscle up one day. One more set. I feel like when I use straps, I feel like a lot more straight in my biceps. I don't know. I don't know what happens. Try it without. Alright, it's rows next. Let me see if this placement's good. I don't know where to place my phone. Should I place it? Okay, we'll try it there. This time, but I don't know. Yeah, like I said yesterday, I'm primarily recording these videos because I want to see the person I become, you know, a few years down the line. I want to see, you know, how much I've grown over the years. And this can just be something that I reflect on. So that's the primary reason I'm bored. And if I have anything to say about, you know, how I think right now and just like things I'm going through, I want to see how my mentality changes over the years as well. So, I mean, I definitely feel like I've grown a lot, you know, especially, like I said, those past 9 months, you know. And it really forces you to grow too. So yeah, I'm curious. I want to see who I become. But something I learned, like I think a very important skill to have is self-accountability. So like right now I'm at the gym, there's no one else here, I don't have a gym buddy, you know, but once you can force yourself to still do things that are productive to your life without anyone, I mean, the gym buddy is great, and if you have someone, but if you don't, you have to build that self-accountability, and I think that's something very important in life. Also validation. I realized back then I always felt the same way, like I felt, you know, I had like that victim's mentality, you know, I felt sorry for myself. And that was all because I put so much value on other people and what they think of me, right? But you can't rely on validation from other people. That's something very important. Yeah, Alex Hormozi has like a very good saying, which is, if they don't have the life you want, who cares about their opinion? You know, so yeah, you have to find validation in yourself, not from others. Back then I used to full stack this machine, but now it's a bit harder. I used to be like 220 pounds, and I was in China this past break, and I got sick, and I lost a lot of weight. Yeah, I think I lost a bit of muscle too, so. I mean, I guess I can still full stack it, but I can't do as many reps as before. It's okay, we'll work up there. I said earlier about like the validation, also it's important to know that desperation repels people. So don't chase things. It's not good. To those who might feel lonely, because that was, how I felt back then, especially these things always got in my head. Just know that even though let's say you don't have that many friends, there are people out there who can't even survive by themselves, and I'm not saying glorify having no friends, but you have to realize that you're in a situation where a lot of people, they can't handle that situation. So that should also make you proud, because whenever you do something that a lot of people can't, and it doesn't have to be big accolades, even just spending more hours studying, working, going to the gym, spending more time doing those things. That's something to be proud of. So, and like I said, if you don't have the right group of people, they'll bring you down to their level. So you just have to get out of your own head. And I still struggle with it too nowadays, but it doesn't get into my head as much. So just know that each day you're getting stronger. Even if you don't realize it, if you put in the work, do things to get better. Tell yourself you don't care about what other people think about you, things like that, you'll get stronger over time. And that also means being by yourself. In the beginning, you might not be comfortable being by yourself, but the more you subject yourself to this environment, you'll start to get more comfortable. You'll stop caring about what other people think of you. You'll stop chasing companionship, things like that. And I'm not saying companionship is bad, but I think you have to build yourself up to be someone who doesn't need, someone else to feel good about yourself. That's what I believe in right now. So maybe it'll change in a few years. But as corny as it may sound, a mantra I always tell myself is I never give up. That's it. So whatever I do in life, no matter how many times I fail at something, I always tell myself that. And don't be scared of failure too. That's another thing. Because something like David Goggins said that really resonated with me is that a lot of people never fail, right? Because they're too scared of even trying whatever it is they want to do. So, don't be scared of failing. Know that a lot of people aren't doing what you're doing, right? So even though you may have that fear of failure, you won't let that fear stop you. So, there's a phrase in software engineering, it's called fail fast, fail early. And I think that also applies in life too. If you fail early, then you know how to pivot. So, and treat it as a learning opportunity. Treat it as a test. Okay. Because a lot of the most successful people, they also have the most failures. So you also have to remember that. So don't be scared of failure. I think I'm real full stack machine today, actually. It's weird. I feel like when I'm recording myself, I just perform better. Yeah, but for me at least in the gym, if I can do like 10 to 12 reps or something, I always increase the weight. I like going heavy. In terms of being better, like that comes from building better habits, right? And I think the best way to build new habits is just consistency, When you do something so much, it becomes easier. It becomes very easy. So, like I've been going to the gym consistently for the past 9 months. So this just becomes like something, something very easy. It becomes a habit, and each time you break a habit, so let's say you go back to like a really bad habit, you can't fixate on that. You have to, acknowledge that you relapse and then just get back on track. That was always what I've done. And also there's a lot of bad habits I had back then, like binge watching YouTube, just spending, a lot of time on social media. And it doesn't feel good at all. Maybe for like the first few minutes it feels good, and then it just feels like shit. But like you keep watching YouTube, and sometimes it's just about like, you just have to realize, this is not doing anything for my life. And you have to internalize that shitty feeling you have, and you have to, you just have to change. And I think, there are like there's an app called ScreenZen, which can block distracting apps. So maybe that's something to try out. But at the end of the day, I feel like it's just about, you just have to build this consistency, you know. You have to continuously do things that are hard, but you know will improve your life. So, and also at the end of the day, you can reflect and say, damn, I wanted to watch YouTube, but I did it, right? And that's something you feel proud of as well. So, yeah, that's my advice. I think you people just have to get off social media in general, because I realize for me at least, it leads me down like this path of like comparison, and it just makes you feel terrible. So whenever you realize that any social media makes you feel like shit, you just have to get off it. Block it, delete it, right? And then you keep doing that, you know, every time you relapse, you keep getting back on track. Over time, it'll get easier. We got more. Should I put it here? You know, I noticed I started to get like a bicep vein popping up right here when I do curls. All right. 2 sets of each. 2 more.